Hello there guys, what is going on? Son of Chelsea back here again for another edition of Let's Talk Chelsea on deadline day. I plan to make a video on a variety of topics. This may now become a two-part video because we've just had some big breaking news. Literally as I was about to start recording, I go on my tweet deck and I see, as I'll put up on screen now, from Fabrizio Romano, here we go, Saul Niguez to Chelsea is a done deal. He will join for a $5 million loan fee. Personal terms have been agreed. He will be in London soon to sign contract. It's been a crazy day. I've been covering it since about 6 a.m. for Football London, writing articles, being on streams, making reaction videos. Saul Niguez was a player basically like this morning, I mean up to about 2 p.m. this afternoon. I can't quite remember when it got broke that it looked like the deal was going to be back on for Chelsea. It just shows you how mental this window has been in terms of how quickly things can change. The Saul Niguez and Jules Koundé, both of them, despite being heavily linked in recent days and looked like both could be done, were both off, and Chelsea were just going to be content with what they already have. But apparently a lot of work has been put in. David Ornstein tweeting from The Athletic earlier today reporting about it, that Chelsea were actively pursuing the deal. Matt Law too, Jacob Steinberg, basically everyone reporting it, and Fabrizio Romano giving the here we go. I'm really excited about this deal. I wasn't a few days ago because at the time it looked like potentially there'd be sort of a stumbling block and Atletico Madrid would want sort of an obligation to buy, which I don't think would be a great deal for Chelsea. I also maybe, and this sounds kind of, it's a little bit dramatic, but kind of desperate to see Chelsea sign a central midfielder, because with striker, it's been kind of my big position for a number of months. I think it's a really big deal at Chelsea. I think it was such a key deal, and I do believe this is why it's been sort of prioritised, because N'Golo Kante's injury issues and just looking at that central midfield area, what it's been lacking for so long. I don't know if Saul Niguez is the exact long-term solution, but I think for a short-term solution for this season, and especially with an option to buy, if he does really well, I think it's a good choice. A very experienced player coming off the back of a title win with Diego Simeone. Kind of a jack of all trades. I like the fact that he's not a specialist midfielder. The profile of midfielders in that area can lean themselves in, especially with Jorginho, a bit of a specialist. I like the fact Saul Niguez is kind of a player that could be a bit of a utility player, which kind of can feel like an insult, but I think a very experienced player that can be utilised in a variety of ways, which I think for such an intelligent coach like Thomas Tuchel, I think is a big thing. And I'm so intrigued to see what Tuchel does with players. I think what we've seen so far with him at Chelsea, with a number of players he's already utilised, got back into the squad, got the best out of players like Andreas Christensen, players like Antonio Rudiger, the way he's improved this squad. You're just intrigued to see what he does with players, and you're always intrigued why he wants a certain player. And I think it does give room for Chelsea next summer to potentially pursue someone else in central midfield. If Saul Niguez, if the move is all right, if Chelsea don't take up that option to buy next summer, there's the potential of Declan Rice, the move that feels like it will eventually happen, Aurelien Tchouameni. There is that wiggle room, I think, for Chelsea that wouldn't have been there if there was an obligation to buy. But I just think looking at this season, I think it's so important. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one on Saturday when you see N'Golo Kante go down. You realise how short we are in that area. There could have been arguments, I'm sure, to say, let's throw Mason Mount in a double six. Let's put Trevor Chalobah there. Let's move Reece James there. Ethan Ampadu, who now will likely be going on loan. I just felt to me like with all of those solutions, they were stopgap and kind of areas that I wasn't quite confident that Tuchel would do that on a regular basis. I feel that he needed more of an experienced quality midfielder that clearly he's been pushing for all summer to really give him that faith in that player, and I think that Saul Niguez will be that player for him on a consistent basis. Champions League experience, he scored one of the best Champions League goals of all time, to be honest, the one against Bayern Munich that has been reshared by a few people, especially Oli Glanville on Twitter. I retweeted it. Amazing goal, but I think the experience he has with people who watch him on a regular basis, he may not be the long-term solution to Chelsea's midfield area, but I think for a short term it's the deal Chelsea needed, and let's hope that Saul can have an immediate impact for Thomas Tuchel. So I'm really excited about this deal. I think it's one that Chelsea really did need, and I'd have been quite concerned going into what is going to be a very long season for Chelsea, with the intentions to win the Premier League title, Champions League starting up after the international break, League Cup, FA Cup, Club World Cup. It's going to be a long season, and I think to expect with the way Tuchel has kind of gone in that central midfield area to really just rely on free midfielders for that long season, I think would have been kind of a massive risk. So it's good to have Saul in. Hopefully he's motivated to succeed at Chelsea. Excited to see what he does this season. Let me know your opinions on Saul Niguez signing for Chelsea. It hasn't been officially confirmed by the club yet, but we've got the here we go. Excited to see what happens with Saul Niguez at Chelsea on loan this season. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you again very soon for another video on Chelsea's transfer deadline day.